Hey everybody! In today's video, I'm going to show you a really fun new way to use washi tape. If you are like me, you have 3,000 rolls of washi tape that you're saving for some unidentified special occasion to use it, so I'm giving you the special occasion today. Now I have this beautiful gold accented sort of Moroccan looking washi tape that I'm putting down over the little bucket in this stamp image. And I'm stamping on top of the tape. And it's really important for this one that I leave the stamp set up in my MISTI. And you will see why. So now you want to take an X-Acto, and with very light pressure, washi tape is very thin, so you don't have to cut deeply into your cardstock for this. You want to cut around the image that you are essentially paper piecing, but with tape, very carefully until you can lift and remove the tape. Now, what's great about this is you can just cut along these black stamp lines. The black stamp line itself is going to hide any sort of variation that you might have while you're hand cutting and gives you a little bit of wiggle room to be imperfect, which you know is my favorite. So then I just use my piercing tool to lift up those edges and pull kind of gently, because if you've maybe not made the connection, you can see me kind of recutting a few areas. If you've missed just joining two little sections, you want to make sure that that lifts cleanly and you're not tearing that tape, because washi tape is designed to tear. And so you want to be as kind of ginger as you can while you're doing this. So here's what it looks like. Look at that gold shininess. I just love it so much. And then I'm going to do two more images before we get to the coloring, just to show you the difference between opaque washi tape, which was the first example. That's why I stamped on top of it so that I could see the ink lines. And then this beautiful impressionist transparent washi tape that you can put right down on top of your stamp image and just cut through it. You don't have to stamp again, so that's why I didn't leave these stamps in my MISTI. This is most washi tape. Most washi tape does have a little bit of transparency to it, but no matter what you have in your giant drawer of washi tape that I know you have, there's a way to do it either way. So I wanted to show you both of those. Now, this all over green tape actually is what guided my selection of this stamp set to show you today, because it's perfect for a little shamrock, but it's actually a little Van Gogh painting, and I love it so much. This is what it looks like. If you have to put down multiple strips of tape to cover your image, don't worry. They just become part of the design, and it's no big deal. For the third one, I'm using another Van Gogh tape that has these irises. I'm a little bit mildly obsessed with both irises and Van Gogh, so this is perfect. And this pot is also very simple to cut around, sort of like the first one. The only thing you have to remember is you have to cut around his little paws that are kind of peeking over the edge of the pot. So don't cut right through that. Make sure when you're cutting that you're aware of that. So, but other than that, it's a very simple cut. Now, this is a lighter weight cardstock, that kraft cardstock, which I will put a link to this in the description. It's my favorite kraft cardstock, is a very heavyweight cardstock. So even if you pressed a little bit too hard, you would be fine with that cardstock. You really want to keep light pressure. Oh, there's Splotchy's foot because he's wrapped around my neck. Splotchy loves to participate in my videos. He's a very crafty cat. But there he is again. If you are using a lighter weight cardstock, I'm showing you how easy it is to just use very light pressure and still cut through that washi tape. So this one is a transparent tape as well, which is why you can still see the rim of the pot through the tape. So again, no need to stamp on top of it. Now for this first image, since it's on kraft, I'm going to color it with colored pencils. You could also do this with alcohol markers, and I will just speed my coloring process up. These are my favorite colored pencils, and I'm using a Prismacolor white pencil. The Prismacolor white pencil is really nice. I still get some breakage on these, but the white is an amazing blending pencil. And so I like to use that both as a foundation and then a top blending for highlights and lighter areas. I'm going to color the mice a little bit differently on all three of these images. The other two will be alcohol markers. But on this one, I felt like that gray blue in the washi tape that I used for the vase would be something that would coordinate with a little gray mouse. So I'm coloring this one gray. So I have 3 different colors of gray pencil on top of that base of white pencil. And I come back and forth. I'm like a 5-6 layer blend when I do colored pencils, and you'll see in the close-up, that's about the point where you start to get a little bit of wax bloom. So that's where I stop. But going back and forth between white and the colors you use is my favorite method of coloring. So the pencils I'm using will be down below in the description box. And I'm highlighting his little ear with a little bit of pink, sort of like you would be able to see through his ear if there was light on the other side of this little mouse. And then coming back and blending that with the gray and the white. For the flowers, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Again, I'm trying to coordinate with the fancy washi tape. And I'm picking up kind of the gold color with the flowers being primarily yellow and orange and white, just for a little complementary to the cool grays and the blues in the tape. And then just one color of green because his foliage is so tiny, you don't really need to blend it. The only thing I'll add kind of overall will be white highlights at the end. So the little kind of daisy looking things in the middle are just going to stay white. And I think that kind of draws your eye to the center of the image, which is where I want it because I'm doing my special washi tape trick. However, when you color with colored pencils, and even I find this with alcohol markers as well, that when you've colored your image, you are sort of blurring the lines of the stamp. So you'll notice that it's impossible to color without coloring kind of over some of these stamp lines, especially like right there where his leg is, or around his whiskers, his eye, all of that. You simply cannot color him in on a darker cardstock without coloring over some of these inked details. So that is reason number 2 why you want to leave this particular stamp set up in your MISTI, because you can see it's a little bit blurry there. And I'm going to bring it right back to that crisp stamp image that it is. You just want to make sure you have it in the right orientation that you had it in when you stamped it initially. And I'm just using my Be Creative ink here. And we're just going to stamp on top of that and just bring all those details back into focus. And it's just amazing what a big difference this makes. When in doubt, always leave your stamp set up in your MISTI for anything like this you might need to do. But you can see how polished that makes this final image. And it's just absolutely perfect in every way. Look at his little washi bucket. So cute. This is such a fun way to use tape. This is one of those just like aha moments of paper piecing with washi tape. So now I'll color these 2 mice differently. The first mouse, I'm just using my Olo markers. I'm going to color in a cool gray. And the second mouse, I will color in a warm gray. But essentially, I'm doing the same thing that I did with the pencils. I'm giving him little pink ears. I'm doing a little bit of darker shading kind of around his edges, making him look dimensional, and underneath his nose, underneath his arms, giving him some shadows. And then that green washi tape just pops in the clover. And it's better than just a solid green shamrock. It just has a lot of interest in it. So the second mouse, exactly the same, except he's warm gray. I really like the way the pink looks with the warm gray. I'm not going to lie. I think that's cuter than with the cool gray. I think it looks more natural, like a natural little mouse ear. Not that I've spent a lot of time looking at mouse ears, but if I had the opportunity, I would. And then he's got his little bucket that you can still see the stamp lines through. I love that. Same on the shamrock. These two transparent tapes make this process very easy and no need to stamp again because you can see the original details and all of that interest on the pot. Here is the colored pencil little guy handing you some flowers. And here are the finished cards for this project. I hope you try this washi tape technique. Head over to my blog for more information, and thanks so much for watching.